Okay, hey guys, Bo and Bree here. And Flower, I'm so sorry. We've got this little pretty pitty from Spencer Kennels next door who's just hanging out in our video with us today. We help train the rescues from next door, and she's still untrained. She's new to us, but she's super pretty, so we decided to put her in the video.
She just joined our Cranky Cares program.
Yeah, and so we're coming today to talk about equipment safety. Equipment safety, like sometimes people come in for consultations or I see them out and I think, oh man, that's really scary because I can see that dog slipping that collar or running away from the owner because their setup just isn't secure, okay? So I once had a consultation that showed up with a couple of beagles and they were wearing harnesses and they had flexi leashes. The flexi leashes, if you guys don't know what they are, they look like this. All trainers and professionals kind of despise them because they tend to, I don't know, they're not reliable.
They create more problems.
I have a lot of other reasons. We'll go over in a minute why I dislike them. But this specific pup that had come, I mean, it was like seconds flat. You could see that it was a bolter and it had been there and done that before. And the dog slipped its little arms out of that harness and was out of here. And so we just kind of want to go over a couple of our tools here of what we do like versus what we don't like, or more what we think is safe versus what we don't think is safe, okay? So, by the way, it took us about 45 minutes to an hour to catch that puppy, but we did catch it, and we got the dog back to the owner, and we trained the dog and got it to stop running away from the owner and got them better with some safer equipment, and so they were doing okay after that. Bree, what do we got here laying out in front of us?
We got a long line, so this is a better option than a flexi lead. You've got pros and cons to every piece of equipment. And a flexi lead, yeah, it allows your dog to go about. Maybe you're checking out the park. Maybe you're just wanting them to have more room. But it creates a constant tension, the flexi lead does, on the dog's neck, and we don't want just a tension for no reason. If there's tension on the leash, we're trying to communicate with them. So that flexi lead, not only is it really bad on communication, but it is dangerous. I don't know if you've ever gotten cut with one of those things before. That's not how it happened with me, but
I think it could. Experience. I was just trying to help the Van Wyck thing,
Yeah. But I've gotten cut with the back of my leg before, and it probably took 2 weeks to heal, and it was like the back of my knee. It was terrible. These are 15-foot long lines. I love using them. We teach off-leash reliability with them. We teach a lot of socialization with them, and it creates the same freedom that you're looking for that flexi lead could do.
Yeah, the main reason why we dislike this one and do like that one is pressure and release. Like she said, this one's got a constant tension. And that one we're able to say yes and no. We're able to say, hey, tight line, we don't like that, or loose line, good job, keep doing that. And so that's the main reason. That's kind of pressure release is like the background of all good dog training. And within that, if we have a constant tension, then that's a middle ground and it screws up our lesson. Okay, so next thing is Martingale versus buckle collar, right? Gonna be Vanna White this time. So the buckle collar is kind of the standard collar. This one's made by Kong. It's a little tougher, you know. It's lovely for holding tags, but I will tell you that's the only thing I use these for is holding tags. I do not hook leashes to them. And the main reason is because, well, like if you can see Flower, her head is the same size as her neck. She's got this giant neck and muscles.
I think her head is smaller than her neck.
And so she would be one that could kind of slip out of this. And most dog owners keep the buckle collar way too loose, okay? And so since they keep it too loose, the dog gets in there and it pulls back on the lead and boom, right off the head it goes. And now we've got an off-leash dog. Now, my Martingale collar has two loops, okay? So this first one is the dog's head goes through it, and you guys will love this because you can totally leave it looser on the dog. It's not uncomfortable because when she pulls on the back of the line, it tightens so the dog cannot escape the collar. So if you have a dog who's backing out of their buckle collar, you just need to upgrade your equipment to a Martingale collar, okay? A Martingale collar will fix that problem instantly for you.
Do be safe with the Martingale collars though. My dogs are adults and then they've been wearing Martingales for a long time. If you have younger dogs or dogs that just don't have any experience with this, if they jump a fence or anything like that, this can get caught. We do put a quick release on them, but if your dog is a fence jumper, only use it, have it attached to the equipment that you're going to be using. So if you're taking them for a walk on it, just unclip it like this each time instead of clipping your leash off. Like he was saying, the flat collars are great for tags, so if your dog does get off, you can have the flat collar on for backyard time, all that. But if you're trying to keep this on all the time, just know that we're warning everybody that things like that can happen.
So you're saying these are a great tool to have on for in the house, as well as in the backyard.
Yeah.
But if you're planning on going for a walk, don't rely on this.
Yeah, rely on this on your walk.
That's going to actually tighten.
If you've got a dog that pulls on a buckle collar, all the pressure goes straight to that trachea, and you don't want that. If you have coughing or anything like that when they're walking, that means they're pulling way too much. But when you have this, it disperses throughout the neck when it's fitted properly. So
great. Other than that, we like the 15-foot long line instead of the flexi leash. And then we use 6-foot leather leashes as well, and then we use slip lines. Slip line, same scenario. This is going to tighten when the dog pulls. That's the whole point, so they can't back out of it. We've seen dogs escape harnesses. We've seen dogs escape buckle collars. Those are the two things that just don't give you any control. They don't give you any leverage. And on top of that, when you pair it with a flexi leash, you're handicapping yourself, basically. So yeah, quick discussion on flexi leash versus long line and buckle collar versus Martingale. Flower over here, once again, she does need a home. She needs to be adopted. And so if you guys if you think she's pretty and you want to come and see Flower, she is at Spencer Kennels, which is next door to Cranky Canine Dog Training.
Jerica, do you know how long Flower's been at the kennel for?
6 months?
About 6 months, which she's getting pretty stir crazy. We don't know too much about her social skills. We've had her around, a lot of different things, but the best way to find that out is to contact Spencer Kennels to find out more information about her. So.
Well, when I went over there, I could see the muscle, and I thought she's gonna pull me. So instantly, I put on a Martingale collar and did not trust the buckle collar that she was currently wearing that was holding her tags. So. This is a pretty good example of why I need a Martingale. So, anyways, once again, as always, if you guys want to be a guest on our little show here, or if you want us to cover any topics for you that you have questions about, please post it in the comments or send us a private message that explains what you guys would like to see. So, Bo and Bree, Cranky Canine Dog Training, and then we have Flower here at Spencer Kennels. You guys have 2 reasons to share this. The first reason is so that your friends and family don't lose their dogs because they're using the wrong equipment, and the second one is to find Flower a home. Okay?
We're really trying to find her a home. And thank you, Jerica, for being our wonderful cameraman.
Yes, thank you so much.
Have a good day.